Howdy, and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events. And I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, but just you're looking at the European model. I'm going to show you this January thaw heading our way. Let me scoot this down just a touch here. And there's, for snow lovers out there, there's some things to watch still. I know the majority of you are still wanting to get a good snow in here, so am I. But yeah, we are going to have much warmer temperatures starting Saturday. Even Friday is going to be well into the 50s. But I think that the new data is showing that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday temperatures at or just above 60 degrees here in Little Rock. That's what we were talking about last weekend. So you're looking here at the European, but things change after that. We're going back into a colder weather pattern. This is the 540 line, as you know. Separation usually of rain and snow. Not always, but it's a good indicator. There's a big area of low pressure. Anyway, what I showed you in the video prior that we're going to get Pacific air in here. So yeah, the Arctic air retreats for a while, and the Pacific air starts to flood in, and so we go into the 60s. So that's what's denoted here until we get into next Wednesday. Now, initially, I should say, the push of cold air is nothing major. I would say that the initial push by the middle to end of next week is by far not as cold as what we have had, but it is trending colder than what we're going to face here for the weekend, the beginning of next week. We're going to be, instead of highs in the 60s, we may go back to highs in the 40s. But this is a new area. Why I always do that? I always accidentally skip ahead there. Anyway, so there's the new area of high pressure. Notice it's pushing towards the south. You see those faint gray arrows. That's signifying northwesterly winds. You have a new area of low pressure here, and a storm's going to start to roll out in the upper levels, and I'll show you that in just a second. And moisture is going to start to overrun this front, which at this point in time is slicing through southern Arkansas. Notice that 540 line gets a little further south. Again, this is next Wednesday. Now let's go into next Thursday morning. There's our storm system beginning to develop, and if this is going to change, I don't know how many times, but it has been consistent the past few runs with developing a storm. It's just the timing, the placement, and all that is not going to be clear until we get closer, obviously. But here's the rain snow line right in here. That's not what the 540 thickness line means. It's not that, it's not there to tell you that's the rain snow line, but that's usually a good indicator as to where it is. But anyway, you're going to have a storm system coming through. You got an easterly flow here. You got upslope snows occurring. Snows are breaking out here in New Mexico, Colorado, the Panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. You have rains here towards the south, and in between you probably got some icing. So you're thinking, oh, that's heading right towards Arkansas. Well, it could, but you're going to also get some warmer air. You have a Gulf of Mexico, not warmer air, but it's not cold enough, according to the model, for much wintry weather at this time. But notice the surface low developing right here in the Gulf of Mexico. This is Friday morning, late Thursday into Friday morning. Surface low is developing right in here. And there's the 540 line. Now, what the European model is doing, the upper level energy is hanging back, well back here towards the west. So this is the initial surge here at the surface low. You're getting rain, maybe a little snow and ice up here in northern Arkansas. Again, if you're taking this model literally, and remember, we're talking about something that's 186 to, here we go, with 192 hours away. So it's not going to get this correct. But we have a storm to watch. There is colder air coming down. The European is notorious for hanging back the area of low pressure aloft back here towards the west a little too long, so it may be speeding up a little bit faster than this. But let me see if I can switch here. Yeah, here's the upper level. Like I told you, that upper level low. This is next Friday morning. This is at 500 millibars, about 20,000 feet up in the atmosphere, and there's the upper level low. And that's in great position for it to fly off towards the east. And let me see if I got these are the latest panels coming in. Let me see if I can get an update. Yes, let's see where it goes at 216. See, if it nudges just a touch further towards the north, that would bring the possibility for some wintry weather by the end of next week. But again, it's so far off in the future. And then it zips on by towards the east by the weekend. But here's the other thing I want you to notice, the configuration of the 500 millibar pattern, again, 20,000 feet. See that? There's a strong ridge of high pressure, and that's going up into western Canada. Trough of low pressure. Remember, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So you're getting the ridge, the heights building up here towards the north, and that dislodges and brings the cold air towards the south. So the flow off the Pacific is cut off, and now you're getting it all out of Canada. Let me show you what we're getting right now. Let me just back up. This is what we're getting this weekend. looking at 500 millibars, notice how the flow here is coming off the Pacific. Get a little frontal boundary through here, but it's just Pacific air behind it. So there's the flow coming off the Pacific. Then you jump ahead towards the end of next week, and there's that ridge of high pressure. Now you're getting more blockiness to the pattern, more meridional flow. I can't even say that right now. But there's more amplitude to the pattern, where there's a ridge of high pressure there, trough of low pressure there, and so you're talking about colder air coming in. So the January thaw is not going to last all that long. Now let me go back here to the surface. The European is coming in as I'm doing this right now, and sure enough, it brings that upper level low, and it's in good position here at the preset. This implies that we would have, again, 210 hours out. This implies by the end of next week, we would have some wintry weather in Arkansas. So we'll see how that pans out. And then we go into a much colder weather pattern. And we're going to, about 4 or 5 days of mild temperatures. And then we're back into the freezing cold weather. So winter's not over yet. You snow lovers out there, you want snow. There's still, still early. It's only January the 15th. My goodness, we got tons of time. Sometimes it snows in March. And we even had snowflakes this morning. But that was really nothing, as I told you it would be. So thank you very much for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.